My name is Wayne Oldtrex, and I'm making a new series called Modern Clichés, and I'm basically going to be talking about things that really make me mad about modern society. And for this video, I want to talk about crimes in London and also crimes in general. Now, this is something that has really bugged me in recent years because there's been a really the crimes going on nowadays have been getting worse and worse as the years been getting on. But in the olden days, people would used to just like when crimes were going on back in the olden days, let's say I think in the 90s or 2000s, people were only like still maybe a sweetie or chocolate or drink, and maybe like probably use their fists to fight each other or something, but it wasn't like lethal or anything. But as I've gotten older, I've noticed a huge increase of like weapon crimes and violent crimes. And a good example, not too long ago, someone there was some shootings going on in Walthamstow, and like I think a 17, no, a 16-year-old boy got shot in Walthamstow last week from the recording of this video. And it really, throughout like the last few years, I've been hearing so many crimes. Like every time I go on the news, someone's gotten stabbed in this area, or someone's gotten stabbed at that area. And it's really annoying to be hearing this because, London wasn't this bad before. Like, yeah, there's always been crimes, but it wasn't ever as lethal. And most of these crimes are coming from the youth. Like, not all the youths are doing crimes, obviously, but there's more youths doing violent crimes, stealing, killing. like um they've been using machetes, guns, and more recently acid attacks as well, which is just going out of order. And I'm not sure, like there are there are some reasons why these crimes could be happening, because one, like parents may not be paying attention to their child. Like I'm not saying all parents do. I'm just saying a minority of parents. That minority, don't really pay attention to their kids, and they don't see what they're doing. They don't ask what they're doing, and they just let their kids out so late. And then you got these kids just hanging around in their bikes or doing whatever, doing their stupidness, going around killing people, throwing acid in people's faces, ruining people's lives. And you know, it really bugs me that you can't just walk to a shop without having to look left and right without danger. I mean, that can be like, you can say that even back in the olden days, but at least then you can actually defend yourself. But if someone's gonna attack you, they're most likely gonna have knives. Not even not even regular knives anymore. Like, we're talking about guns. We're talking about like bleach and all these other acids and machetes. You can't protect yourself from that. And it's really sad that all this is going on. And some of this could be due to like racism that's been going on. Like, some people, it's usually like people usually look at the blacks and say, you know what, it's all the blacks doing all the crime. But actually, it's all races. Yeah, it might be more black boys doing it, but at the end of the day, all races are causing all the crime because of racism as well. And I think that's just wrong. And furthermore, I'd like to point out more facts actually. So one thing that I've noticed is that like at the end of 2010, like December 2010, there was, I think, 93,000 crimes in total committed in London, and February this year, so 2018, there was only 75,000 attacks in London in total. So if you've noticed on the graph, there's more violent crimes than any other type of crimes ever seen in London. And yeah, even though weapon crime isn't a high number, it's still like, you know, if it's in the hundred, and by the way, this happens every month. Like you got, 70, 80,000 crimes happening every month just in London alone. Could you imagine what goes on in America? And speaking of America, actually, they're even worse because they always had guns. They always had all these weapons. They have bombs as well. And what the American, like, there's been American people coming from America coming to the UK and like selling weapons and guns and whatever, like, which is just out of order. And I know that the police are overshadowed by all this crime, like by all the troublemakers going out killing people and all that. But I think that the government could at least, expand, like have more youth centers for the youngsters as well, because I think another thing wrong with modern society is that they've been taking away quite a few youth clubs, and like they're not really doing them anymore, which is kind of wrong, because you need to keep young people occupied as well, because like we tend to want to have fun, because like we do work and that, and yeah, you could say, go and find a job, but it's not easy finding a job nowadays, because a lot of, a lot of places want older people with more experience who've been to university and all that, while people my age are struggling to find jobs, even in London, because one, like, obviously, you don't want to travel. Some of these places are in like far out distances, and like, it's ridiculous. And two, we're in education as well. But I'll be making a part 2 of this video, so yeah, thanks for watching. Dr. Bombay in the back, please get on that right away. We gonna be wildin' the night away, then after that I gotta go back. Alright, I'm steady twisting my arm, or you pulling my chain.